Hey YouTube, wanted to make a video and explain my reasons on why chickens are one of the best first pets for kids. I realized this, I love chickens, but I realized I had actually a camp here at my farm with kids, and the kids were from somewhere age group from 4 years old all the way to 12 years old. And one of their favorite things to do, or the animal to play with, was almost like 90%. All the kids were saying it was a chick. It was playing with baby chicks. That was their favorite thing to do. They came to my house in the morning for the camp, and they had a chick in their hand pretty much the entire time for all the 5 days they were here. And I wanted to explain you why having chickens, or a single or two chickens as a pet, would be a great idea as a first-time pet owners for kids. Here are some of the reasons that I came up with. Chickens are so easy to keep. You don't really need a fancy, expensive chicken coop. You can use you can buy it on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, a dog crate, a big dog crate, and you can leave it on your patio. It's a covered patio if you have any, and keep the couple of chickens in there. It doesn't have to be, a $500 chicken coop or something super fancy, or something really big. My kids actually had a hamster as their first pet, and honestly speaking, we did not really do much, because every time we take the hamster out of the cage that we had him in, he would bite us. So I was so nervous about the hamster biting my kids. I was really not happy, or allowing my kids to actually play with the hamster. So I did not actually enjoy the hamster. The guinea pig was the same thing. I was reading about it, they bite you and things like that. There are of course going to be some guinea pigs that don't bite you, but I was not comfortable having a pet that actually will accidentally bite my kid, and they did. My hamster bit me a couple of times, and bit many times my kids, while we are cleaning the cage or whatever. So it's not that they're gonna die out of that little bite, but I want a pet that I don't have to fear from. So chickens, especially the ones, you get a barred rock, a docile breed, or maybe like a silky. Silkies are like so fluffy and soft and very docile type of chickens. They are great for kids. They will love to pet on them, and they will not peck or bite them. They are just very nice. Okay, why are they so easy to keep? So the first thing is, you don't need anything fancy to keep them. You just need three things. You need food container, a water container. Those are like 10, 15, 20 bucks depending on how much you want to spend on them. And a chicken coop, or like a crate if you have. So you can have that. Right now I have this big tub that I'm using as a brooder, but I could technically have these guys in a crate, a dog crate. They'll keep them out of the rain, and obviously the crate, if you're putting them in a dog crate, you have to have a covered patio or something like that. I'm sitting in my patio right now. Or you can have a nice coop outside in your backyard, and they can be there. What else? So yeah, they are very docile, so you don't have to worry about a chicken hurting your kids purposely and drawing blood every time they go play with them. That's one of the things. Another important thing was for me as a first-time pet owner, buying a pet for my kid, was how do I go on a vacation? And that's why I kind of picked a hamster, because I didn't have to worry about it. Probably left enough food and water for the hamster, and he would live for a weekend or a week without any problems. Yeah, his crate or his area would smell really bad when we came back, but that's about it. So, but that's what we did. And what I'm trying to say is, with chickens, you can pretty much do that. You can maybe have a friend come over and make sure they have enough food and water, but they can pretty much survive without daily care if you have the setup correctly done. So you can go on vacations technically, depending on if your area is big enough and you don't have too many chickens and they have food, water, and shelters for plenty of days, and they have enough space to go in and out of the run or something, they can stay without any problems. They'll be just fine without you when you go on a vacation. So very easy to keep. Another very important point. Okay, so the other point was that the kids are going to be able to feed them. They can feed them their leftovers, after they're done with their dinners. They can take whatever is in their plate and go and feed it to the chickens, and they will love it. The chickens are going to eat it, and feeding chickens is fun. I mean, these guys are little chickies, so don't feed them anything right now, but maybe in a couple of weeks we will start feeding them our leftover pieces of whatever we have, because these guys are omnivores just like us. They can eat grains, cheese, meats, beans, rice, breads, anything and everything. They'll peck and eat at it. So lettuce, vegetables, whatever you have. Then the other fun part, the best part out of keeping chickens, if you have the egg layer breed, is to collect an egg. I mean, how cool will it be when your kid goes in the morning or evening every day and brings a beautiful egg, and he or she is going to be so proud of collecting the egg. I mean, it's just a bonus that you get a free egg almost every day, depending on the breed, at least a few eggs a week, and you can have that for your kids' breakfast. It is nutritious. It has protein. It's not junk food. It's healthy food. So I mean, that is just a bonus, that you get a egg every day, or at least few days, depending on the breed. Some breeds lay an egg every day and some don't. What else? Okay, so kids can feed them. They get something back in return, which is a fresh egg. Depending on the breed, you'll get different colored eggs. You can get like a blue color egg, a green color egg, a brown color egg, a white color egg, a dark brown color egg. There are so many varieties of chicken breeds that you can have. Also, another advantage of having chickens is that they are going to learn sense of responsibility, because they have to be taken, they have to be you have to make sure they have food and water. If you take them out for free ranging, you have to put them up back in the night, those type of things. So they will have an opportunity to be responsible for their pet. And these chickens are very resilient. So for example, let's say if you forget, or your kid forgets to feed your chicken some treats today, they'll be fine. They're not going to die. They may get skinny that day, but they will be fine. Of course, water they cannot live without. They will die without water. But I'm just saying that, they are they will find food for themselves. They'll go and look, if they're free ranging, they'll go look for food by themselves. So that would be the other reason I think. I mean, they are so easy to keep. You can go on vacations. Also, keeping chickens keeps you closer to nature. You're gonna spend time outside in your backyard because you have chickens. Otherwise, you probably are gonna sit and watch TV, and they're going to watch TV 24/7. Or not 24/7, but you know what I mean. Kids love TV, and this is a great way to take them outside and be close to nature. Another thing is allergies. Nowadays, kids have allergies almost all the time. These chickens are kind of dirty, and they have smell and allergy stuff. But because you are constantly around chickens, it kind of gives you opportunity to handle that kind of dust or the bugs or whatever you want to call it. If you are in contact with a little bit of nature, or chickens or some sort of animal, you are going to get a little bit resistance. You're going to build a little bit of resistance because of that, because you are constantly with chickens. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know if this is a fact or not, but I have realized that when we were living in a regular neighborhood, when we didn't have any pets, I used to get sick all the time. My kids had so many ear infections and so many allergy problems. And since we have moved to the farm, and we have so many animals now, we have very few sicknesses, knock on wood. Very few allergies and health issues with kids. They are way more stronger than they used to be because they are constantly smelling and touching, and all the bacteria that can possibly make them sick are always in with them. So I think their bodies are fighting and have been fighting from few years now, and they have built up the immunity. Of course, they are also getting older is another reason my kids are not getting sick, but I think that it is also to do that they don't get sick as often because they are with nature a lot more than they have ever been when they were little, because we didn't just have any reason to be out in the backyard before, other than we have a party or friends over and they're playing. So yeah, I think having chickens is a great idea for first-time pet owners. Like I said, you get an egg every day. Eventually, you're going to be close to nature. You can go on vacations, and they're not going to hurt your kids. They're not going to bite and cut their fingers or hurt them. I think it's a great way to get into. I'll let you go, baby. Get into having pets. Great first time. Highly recommend chickens as first time pets for kids. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys buy some chickens if you don't have already, and take my suggestion and try it out. And if you ever decide that, hey, you don't want chickens, you can always put them for sale. The people will come buy them. You will get your money back for the whole setup, probably, because there's always chicken keepers in city nowadays. It's a very common thing. And keeping a couple of chickens, you don't need a rooster for getting eggs. You only need the females, which are called, when they're babies, they're called pullets. You can go to Tractor Supply or any any stores near you that keep chicks. Chicks are usually seasonal. They come out here in fall or in springtime when you can buy them, or you can buy online. There are many stores you can order them. But yeah, so highly recommend chickens, and hope you guys decide that for your kids, and I think they'll have a blast playing with the chickens. And buy the baby chicks if you're buying it first time for your babies or your kids. It's so much fun. You know, and your chicken will also bond because you are playing with them all the time. If you buy an older chicken that's not been handled, that would not be truly a pet. They could pet you because they don't know you and things like that. So I would recommend a baby chick, and at least get 2 or 3. You know, so yeah. All right, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.